This episode is sponsored by the Great Courses Plus. Stick around until the end to find out how you can get access to their incredible library of educational videos for free. Okay, here's a stat that might blow your mind. Every 30 seconds, a limb is amputated somewhere across the globe. In the US alone, there are over 2.1 million people living with limb loss, and that number is expected to double by 2050, with vascular diseases, cancer, and trauma like motoring accidents being the leading causes for needing amputations. And it goes without saying that having a limb amputation is never an easy thing to deal with. But living in the 21st century does mean that prosthetic technologies and treatments for helping people that are coping with limb loss are as good as they've ever been, and they're advancing all the time, which is obviously a great thing. But instead of modifying the body with a prosthetic to make up for a lost limb, what if we could just regrow the limb? This whole idea of being able to regenerate body parts has been a huge part of pop culture for a really long time. And it's one of those things that I always find myself thinking, that is going to be really sweet when researchers finally figure out how to do this. But how feasible is it really? Well, first off, humans do have the ability to regenerate stuff, like skin and gut lining. But larger and more complex structures are a completely different ballgame that require the body to generate huge amounts of different tissue, like nerves, muscle, and bone, which are all connected and integrated with each other and the rest of the body in really complex ways. But there are some animals that can do these incredible things, like some starfish that can self-amputate appendages in response to injury and grow them back in a few weeks. And there's a type of flatworm that can grow its entire body back just from a speck of tissue. And then there is the poster child of regeneration, the axolotl. Now, not only are they just really cute, they're also one of the most highly studied animals when it comes to regeneration. And they're also actually really interesting animals for a bunch of different reasons in their own right. But for now, what you should know is that axolotls are a type of salamander. And salamanders are known for their regenerative abilities anyway. But axolotls are special as they're not just able to regrow their limbs over and over again, but they can also regenerate their jaw, their tail, their ovaries, their heart, and even their spinal cord, all without scarring. And this ability to heal without scarring is actually a really big deal, as scar tissue never has the same functionality as what was originally there. Okay, but for now, we're just going to focus on the limbs. So how does regrowing an axolotl limb actually work? Okay, so once one of their limbs has been amputated, the wound barely bleeds, and skin cells climb over it to seal it and create a wound epidermis. Mature cells from the tissue near the wound site move into the area and they form a blob called a blastema. These cells de-differentiate, which simply means that they become unspecialized, and also means that they have the ability to become a massive range of cell types. And it's this blastema that restores the limb. The cells in the blastema re-differentiate to become specialized again, becoming bone, muscle, and all the other cell types needed. A perfect new limb is formed in miniature, which over time enlarges to the right size for its owner. And something that's really interesting about this whole process is that the blastema cells actually know their position before they start actually growing a limb. So they'll only grow what's needed, instead of like growing a whole new arm out of an amputation at the wrist. Now, there's still a lot about this process that is unknown due to its insane amount of complexity, but okay, can we harness the ability? That's the real question here. I mean, we do go from a simple ball of cells in the womb and develop into an entire human body. So is there a way, maybe through genetic modification, that we could regain this ability in adulthood? Well, the thing with the axolotl's DNA is that it's huge, like 10 times longer than the human genetic code. And this has made it really hard to actually study the underlying genetic basis of their abilities. But something that we do know is that there isn't just some simple gene that allows for regeneration. I mean, we might even have all of the genes necessary for regeneration. It's just that in us, they might be turned off, whilst in the axolotls, they're turned on. This is because regeneration might actually be a trait that our ancestors shared back before we split from the salamander's lineage over 300 million years ago. A little bit of evidence for this is that sometimes in human amputees, an uncontrolled growth of nerve fibers can start to develop in the stump of the lost limb, creating a painful condition called a neuroma. And this could be a remnant of regeneration that simply fails to reach completion. And also, there have actually been genes that have been found to be involved in regeneration in salamanders that have also been found in humans, but they're just switched off. Now, we don't know just yet why we might have lost the ability, but it might be due to increasing our ability to keep cancerous cells at bay, or due to the higher energy requirements of warm-blooded mammals that makes the quick fix of scarring a better option than regeneration. But with more research into the axolotl's genome, we'll be able to develop a much better understanding of what's going on. And from this, maybe we'll understand how a similar system could work within us. But it probably wouldn't actually be as good as it sounds. I mean, look, it takes axolotls and other salamanders tens to hundreds of days and even years to fully regrow their limbs, which means that it would likely take us like 15 to 20 years to do the same thing. So what this means is that, for now at least, the best idea is probably to just stick with prosthetics when it comes to limb amputations. And research into stem cells and tissue engineering is progressing rapidly, with mini hearts, mini lungs, mini kidneys and ears, as well as a bunch of other body parts already having been successfully grown in a lab. So when it comes to dealing with damaged organs, it's possible that those technologies will be the go-to in the near future. But that doesn't mean that it's completely pointless to try to understand and even try to harness some of the abilities of these axolotls and their salamander relatives. Understanding how it works could help us heal various injuries faster and more efficiently, whilst also preventing scarring. And with forms of scarring being a major issue in a range of common diseases, this could actually be game-changing. And it could also help us fight cancer by showing us how we could control a cancer cell's environment and just force it to behave normally. So it may never make sense to try to harness some other animal's ability to sprout a whole new limb, which is a bit annoying because that would be really sweet. But it still may help us in a load of different ways, whilst advancements in prosthetics and robotic technologies and in lab-grown organs will provide options for amputees and other people that are in need. So to conclude, no superpowers, but maybe some cool stuff down the line. And I'm sure you'll agree that that's all good. Hey, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you learned something new in this video. I know that you're all like me, and you're wanting to expand your knowledge every day, which is why I'm really excited to say that this episode was sponsored by the Great Courses Plus. Now, the Great Courses Plus is a streaming service that features over 11,000 lectures from actual top professors, ranging in topics from science to finance to history and so much more. And its lectures are watched by professionals from all around the world, including by Bill Gates, so you know it's gonna be good. Now, I'm currently making my way through a few different courses, including one that I wanted to watch after I wrote the script for this episode, that looks at our modern understanding of evolution. But no matter what you're interested in, the Great Courses Plus has so much to offer that you are easily going to find some top quality courses to sink your teeth into and continue learning in your own time. And a feature that I really love is that if you download the app to your phone, you can listen to audio versions of the lectures, almost like a podcast, whilst you get on with other stuff. And what's great is that if you use the link that's down in the description below, or if you head to thegreatcoursesplus.com/aspectscience, you can get access to all of this with a 2-week free trial. So all of these great lectures for free for 2 weeks, which means that you can use these really weird times to just learn more stuff. So take a second and check it out. Use the link that's down below or head to thegreatcoursesplus.com/aspectscience. Alright, and with that is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you are not subscribed just yet, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Feel free to like, comment, and share this video, and until next time, you keep discovering the world around you, and I'll see you then.